Instructor Savior, can you hear me? Please, kindly unmute your mic and speak. Sonto, you're welcome to class. Can you hear me?
Good.
Good evening. Abigail, you're welcome. Savior,
Good evening, everyone.
okay, you
You're
can
welcome
start.
to class.
You can start your class now.
Good evening. You're welcome to class, everyone.
We can hear you. Good evening. So,
Good evening, Sister Savior. Can hear you.
I don't know. Can anyone hear me? Good evening. You are welcome to class.
we
Good
can
evening, I
hear
We
you.
can
can,
hear you.
we can hear you. Good evening. Welcome.
Sir Moses, good evening. Sir Moses, I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Okay. I think you are having a network issue.
Sir Moses, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Mrs. Abigail, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Sonto, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Good evening.
Good evening. Please, if you can hear me, react so that I know. If you can hear me, please react so that I know. Okay, okay. Alright, sir. Okay, 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 okay. So, good evening, everyone. We are starting today's class right away. Okay, good. Let's start today's class right away. So, let's just a reminder we have a talk. We're supposed to talk after our class. I have a little talk with every one of us today. Let me share my screen. Okay, just give me a moment as I share my screen. Can you see the screen? Can you see the screen? Please let
No,
someone unmute and
no,
let
we
me know
cannot
that
see
I'm
your
not
screen
speaking to
yet.
myself.
No, we cannot see it yet. Instructor Savior, we cannot see your screen yet.
Hello, Sonto, Mr. Sonto, Mrs. Abigail. Let somebody.
Please, I think Instructor Savior is having network issues, so I just kick him out for him to rejoin. Okay.
All right, sir.
So before we get started, today we are going to talk about looping through a list. Looping through a list. So when we loop through a list, it's just like we are executing a multiple block of code. So Instructor Savior, you are back.
Yes. So I was
Okay.
talking, I don't know, I couldn't hear anything. Were you people hearing
Yes,
me?
yes, we were hearing you. So I think you were having network. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you can start now. So I kicked you for you to rejoin. Okay, you
Okay.
can start your class now.
Okay. So I don't know. During the last class, I was out, but I believe Mr. Moses took you guys to the end, and he told me to start from continue rather from these operations and this is what we're going to look at today. List membership, reverse and sort list, loop through a list, or and any and list comprehension. These are the 5 things that we're going to look at today in our class. So I think that's correct. I believe that's correct.
Yes, it's correct. I stopped at the list copy. Okay, so you have to start from what I gave you. I think this is what I
Okay,
need to.
okay, okay. All right. So I believe you can see my screen, right? So starting from the first one is list membership. We'll talk about list membership. This is the first thing we're going to consider today. List membership. List membership in Python refers to checking if a specific example exists within a list. So I've discovered that over time I've reduced or I've stopped using live examples. And I discovered that when we use live examples, we understand it more. So I will go back to that. List membership is just easy, just for you to check if it's like checking if somebody is in a particular class. If you have a class of students, and all of them, most we have people that are fair, others are dark, people that are tall and short. So membership of a list is just like checking if a particular, maybe if you are considering complexion, if a particular complexion is present in that class. Do we have people who are dark? Do we have people who are short? Do we have people who are tall? And like that. That's just what list membership is. And list membership use the in and not in operators to facilitate this check. So it's like saying Abigail not in Abigail not in year four. Obviously, she's not supposed to be in year four. Abigail not in year four. Yeah. So the operators are basically in and the not in are used to check. And then it returns true if the element is present or absent respectively and false otherwise. Okay, this is what this means. If you check Abigail us that Abigail is not in year 4. And so the answer will be what? False. And if you check Abigail not in year 4, for instance, true because the operation is what? Is correct. That's how list membership work. So if you're going to use it in form of a code, I wrote a code here. I said list 1 is equals to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 69, 30, 50. Then I added other strings, sweet mango and banana. It's a list, so it occupies or it can contain different data types. And I said print 30 in list 1. 30 is in list 1. And so it gave us what? A result true. And I said print 60 in list 1. 60, sorry, print 60 not in list 1. 60 is actually in list 1. So it print false. I believe we understand. Or you can simply just say 20 in list 1 true. That's how you check. Let me write a new code and use it as an example. Um, A A B C G E F. Is that going to run? No. Let's wait and see. It's running. So, anyways, but I believe we understand that. Yeah, I just knew it will not occur. I knew it will not happen. Do you people need me do you need me to explain that more? I think that was self-explanatory. Should I explain more on list membership? If I should continue, let me just say thumbs up. If you want me to continue, just do. Okay, so to thank you, you understand. Alright, alright, thank you. That means I can continue. So the next thing is reverse and sort list. Let's look at it. Reverse and sort list. The sort okay, I'll need somebody to talk or maybe to type now. What do you understand by the word reverse? Anybody at all? What do you just understand by the word reverse?
like opposite.
Opposite, right?
Mhm. Or take a U-turn.
Good. I know Mrs. Abigail used to. Likely you drive. I think you drive. So when they talk about reverse, it's a term that is also coined from that. So reverse basically just you go backward, you do the opposite, or you do what is anti the previous one, right? So let's read what I wrote here. Say the sort method in Python is a built-in function that allows to sort the elements of a list in ascending or descending order, and it modifies the list in place, which means there is no new list created. This method is used when working with lists where we need to arrange the element in a specific order, whether numerically or alphabetically. So that's just the explanation about sort. But before I dive more into sort, I want us to understand that the reverse does the opposite, right? It takes a list backward. The sort now it's going to it has a way the way it affects the element is that it make them either in ascending or descending order, depending on the word, depending on what is desired at a particular time. So sort method is used in Python to what to sort the element of a list either in ascending or descending order. So example of a reverse list to reversed. I created a variable here, reverse was list, and I inputted these details. These strings John, Blessing, James, Ella, Abigail, Joshua, and Moses. Believe we are all following. So this is my list now. I now say to write this is the function for reverse. If you want to reverse, you say you call out this variable. You see, it's showing variable. You call out this variable. I called it out here reverse. You call it out. Then you say reverse dot, I mean rev list, the variable dot reverse, open and close column, open and close bracket, open and close bracket, right? So if you print reverse now, if you print the variable, not reverse rather, if you print the variable, you have it to be, look at it now. Initially we're having John, Blessing, James, Ella, Abigail, Joshua, and Moses. So it now reverses it, give us the opposite. Now we're having what? Moses. Moses was the last, now the first. Joshua, Abigail, Ella, James, Blessing, and John. This is what we're having now. If you are following, let me say a thumbs up so that I can continue. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So that's just basically about this. What new did we learn from this? The new thing here is that if you want to reverse, after declaring a variable, you just add what? Dot reverse. I believe that's clear. No. Dot reverse. You add dot reverse and it will automatically reverse and then you print this one, you print it, it will now automatically reverse the initial list that you had. So for the sort now, sort is two is the same thing. You bring this variable name, right? You bring it here. You now say dot sort. Dot sort. This is it. Dot sort. Once you write this rev list dot sort, it's going to sort it. And we said that it sorted either in ascending or descending order. So in this case, when we printed it, it gave us in ascending order. In ascending order, since this one is alphabet, it gave us in alphabetic order. The word with the first name, Abigail, came first. A, Blessing, B, E, then J, then M. So it gave us in alphabetical order. I believe we are following. So I now try to do another example. Let me see something. Okay. So okay. Okay. So okay, I've checked what I wanted to check. So that's how you sort. It is going to sort like that. Um Good. So this one we have it. These are letters that were given, numbers that were given in ascending order, in any order. So I now reversed it. If you reverse it, dot reverse. Wait, I'm supposed to print this thing. Let me print it and see something. Print A. Okay, good. So sort here he sorted it into one, two, like that, giving it from the least value index to the index value to the highest value. So we reverse this, and here is the reverse of this. Really, we are following. Okay, Samus is, I don't know. We'll need you to, I will need you to say something here, please, if on the
Okay.
call. Yes.
Okay. Now, so let's scroll down.
Sir,
Loop
sorry,
through.
sir. I wanted to do something. I don't know. If I want you to print in descending order, is there any way I can do that?
Okay. In descending order.
Yes.
Okay. Now, inside your sort, you have to include. You have to include the true or false. Then it will reverse.
Okay. I should type what?
Okay. When you are printing it, then inside there you have to include the true or false. Let's see, comma
True.
comma include or ascending false or true. Go back.
Sir?
Yes, equal to. No, it's not like that.
Okay. Equals to.
Yes,
Is it like that?
you, you are getting it wrong. You are getting it wrong. Okay.
Okay.
When you ascend, you include true or false, comma, ascending is equal to true or false.
Okay. 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 I understand now.
So remove the or and true, remove the or and true, remove the or. So are you sure your ascending is correct? Okay.
Chat. I can't find any keyword like that. I don't know.
Okay. Use include. Include.
Okay. Mm.
Or inside. Wait. Clean from the include to the first, then write reverse. True. Reverse is equal to true.
Sorry, sir. Come again, please.
Okay, are you with me? Listen to
Yes,
me.
I'm with you. Yes.
Clean the in and equal to false. Clean it. Go to the sort. Go to the sort.
Yes.
Inside the sort, write reverse is equals to true. Is equal to true. No capital letter. Remember, it's case sensitive. So you
Yeah.
can run it. Let's see.
Okay. Yes.
Did you see it?
It
I
gave
hope
us.
you guys. Huh?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Hope
It gave
it
us in
reverse.
descending order.
Yes. Put it in first. Hello, put it in
Yes. Thank you
first.
so much, sir.
You can put it in first. Let's see.
Okay.
So
It's running.
okay.
Yes. So I believe all of us understood what Sir Moses taught us and explained. So if you want to write it in descending order, that's just what you're going to do. You reverse it is equals to true, then you print A. Why is it taking so long to run?
Your network. Okay. Abigail, can you hear me? And so too. Hello.
I can
Yeah,
hear you, sir. Though I
I
stepped
can hear
away
you.
a few minutes ago. I just came back now. I'm trying to look at it, sir.
Okay.
I can hear you, sir.
Now, yeah, this is the ascending. When you use ascend true, it will descend. When you use false, it will use
Accent.
the ascending. Okay. Now we have different way, different method in Python to reverse. We have different process to reverse. So I want you to know that when you try some process and it did not work, you use other method. So you can also research more on how you can revert in lists. Okay, so this is the way I want to introduce how to reverse for you guys. So by including the reverse equals to false or true inside your sort method, okay, then printing
Yes.
out your results. I believe you guys understand what occurred here.
Yes, yes. Thank you, sir. Okay. So the next one is the loop through a list. This is the next we're going to look at. So loop through a list. What's the meaning of loop through? Okay. So to look through a list, first of all, we're going to look at what is the meaning of a loop. What is a loop? Then we'll look at the meaning of loop through a list. Let me write what a loop is. Okay. It says a loop allows you to execute a block of code repeatedly for a specified number of times or until a certain condition is met. That's the meaning of a loop. Then loop through, when you have a list and you can loop through to iterate over each item in the list and perform operation. Let me let me just drop this for us to look at it. What is loop through, or how does it occur? The meaning of loop through and how it occurs. That's the meaning. I'm coming, I'm coming. I'm coming. Just give me a moment. I want to get this on the screen so that we will follow through as I read. So let me start explaining it. As please follow me as I read and explain. A loop allows us to execute a block of code repeatedly for a specified number of times until a certain condition is met. So looping through a list, when you have a list that's an array or collection of items, you can use a loop to iterate over each item in the list and perform operations on it. Example, in Python, fruit is equals to apple. This is variable fruit equals to apple, banana, cherry. For fruit in fruit, that's a loop statement. Print fruit. In this example, fruit is a list, yes. For is a loop keyword. Fruit is the variable that takes the value for each item in the list or each iteration. In, in specific, in, it specifies the list to loop through. In specifies the list to loop through. Print fruit is the code executed for each item. Output apple, banana, and cherry. How it works: the loop starts with the first item in the list. The code inside the loop print is executed. The loop moves from the next item, banana, and repeat the step 2. This continues until all items in the list have been processed. So all I've been saying here is that when you want to loop, right? When you're going to loop through a list, yeah, there are two operations you are going to use. Is the for and the in operation. In a loop through, you make use of the for and the in. And as I rightly read and it explained, the fruit, for example, in this Python example, fruit is serving as the list, right? So for the for keyword is the one that is going to we use it for the loop. It's going to fruit now has the value. It takes the value of each item in the list, and then from there we are going to print and we'll have our output. For instance, let me write this. Let's do this one. For instance, we say loop, we declare a variable loop equals to that. We say for 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 let's say, let me see, 90 in loop.
Okay, you can just use number instead of 90. You can just use number as the variable name. So I want you guys to know that the loop the loop variable with a list, the numbers with a hello, please don't change
Yes,
that. Please don't change that loop. Okay, remove the
yes.
90. Remove the 90.
Okay,
Okay, 90. Then now loop is a variable that collects an item of a list, which is 90, 80, 89, 70, 76, and 56. So 4 is a keyword and is a for statement. Now we are searching for a particular number. So we declared a variable number. We say for number in, you remember in is a membership. We are searching for a membership. In is a membership. So you remember in and uh, in and not in when we treated the membership of his of a list. So we are
yes,
using in to search if a particular number is inside the for loop, the loop list. So we said that for number in loop. So that number is a variable name. We decided to choose a name which we are using number. The number can be anything. So we are searching. So it will search for all the number if it is inside the loop statement. So now we are going to print the number. Now I'll see how it works. It will read all the number one after the other. Then before the last item, it will produce the result. I believe you understand what he did. First of all, he searched for the first number, he printed it out. He move again. Loop is a continuous statement, continuous statement that repeats every step. It repeats every step. Now, he searched for a particular number and he got 90, he bring it out. He searched for a particular number again and he got 80, he bring it out. He searched for a particular number again and he got up until the list is empty. That is when it will stop. I believe you understand, Abigail and Sonto. Okay, Abigail, you can speak.
Sir, please, can you just go over it again, sir? Sorry, sir.
Okay, now let's see. Let me explain it again, and I want you to concentrate.
Yes, sir.
We have loop with a list of numbers. Loop, which is the loop is a variable name which we assign to a list of number. A list of number which is 90, 80, 89, 70, 76, and 56. So we want to search for all the number if we have numbers inside that particular list. Now we are going to use a for statement, and a for statement is a looping statement. Now we say that for number, we use number because we decided to choose a variable name for the unknown, number. So we are using in, and remember in membership we treated in and not in to check for a particular member in a list. I believe Instructor Savior taught us about membership of his list when he
yes, sir.
used the classroom. If there is a fair or a black skin person inside the class. Now we are using this in to check for a particular number inside a loop list. So now we say that for number in loop, for number in loop, that it should check every number in loop. Now, when we print it out, it will search for a particular number, it will search for any number. The first number it got, it will print it out, and it will move again to check for the second number until the list became empty. And remember, uh, uh, loop is a repeated statement. Loop is a repeated statement, okay? So
Yeah.
when it search for all the number, the last number is 56, right? Since there is no number, it will stop. I believe this is clear to you.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
So you can continue. Instructor
yeah.
Samuel.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir. This is just another example. Also, loop one equals to John, Hannah. This will double in here. James, Blessing, Bright. So I want to search for name in loop one. So it's not going to search for the name, my prince name, and the same thing we had there. This one we had here. So that's all about loop. I think we're left with all and any. We're left with this one and the other one. So what is all? What is any? Are Python built-in functions that let you check whether some iterable objects like a list contains any true value or all true values respectively. This can be a useful operation when you want to check whether some large sequence conforms to a logical check, right? So now I would just like to explain. Let me explain their differences. Differences between all and any. The function all and a built-in function no. So built-in function in Python that operate on iterables that is like list, tuples, etc. and returns a Boolean value or returns true if all elements in a list, for instance, are truthy. That means that when you have all in all, if you have all the variables, all the inputs, all the elements in the list, if they are truthy, that is, if they are truthly, then it will give you true. It returns false if all the list or one of the lists is what is falsy. But for any, returns true if at least one element in the iterable is truth. Okay, let me take this and explain it very in a layman way that we understand. So, but what is happening here is this: is for instance, if you have a basket of oranges, right? You have a basket that contains orange. So what happens is when you declare an or statement is that is going to return true if like everything in the basket is an orange, it will give you true. That is, if everything in the basket is an orange, it will give you true. But if one of them is not an orange, for instance, you have a mango in the basket as an additional, it will return false. I believe you are following, it will return false. But if all of them they are orange, it will give you what? True. And then if it is also empty, this was in the bracket here, or if the iterable is empty, this iterable now, sorry, you have been hearing iterable. What are then iterables? These iterables, they are basically just stuff like the list and the tuples. We are going to do tuples later and libraries. But since we are talking about list now, let's just anytime I say iterable, just think about a list. I believe that's fine. So now, if the list is an empty list, it's going to give you a true. If it's an empty list, it's going to give you a true. So back to our basket example. Now, so if the basket is empty now, it's going to give you a true. Those, so that's all about all. Now, for any, if in the basket we have oranges and we have mango, it's going to check, and it will check whether if there is an orange inside. Once there is an orange, whether there are mangoes or not, once there is an orange, it will give you true. Once there is an orange, it will give you true. If you are checking if an orange is there. But if there is no orange, if it's orange that you are checking for and there's no orange, even though there are mangoes there, it will return what? False. Because that's not what you are looking for. That's one of the things I'd like us to understand. And then note also in Python, values such as false, zero, or none, empty strings, none, empty strings, empty lists, empty tuples, and empty dictionaries are considered what? False. All the other values are considered true. All the other values are considered true. So, and then also note, I don't know whether I said this in one of my classes, but I'm supposed to say it. If you have zero, it's considered as a false value. Zero is equals to false. So if you are writing, you will write zero is equals to false and true is equals to 1. True is equals to 1, while zero is equals to false. I just want us to take note of those two examples. So now, for example, I declared a variable all. I said all is equals to this. I declared a variable any is equals to this. So for all, the variable all, okay, let me use something else so that we are not confusing ourselves. Let's say numbers. Numbers, right? Good. So let's do example for all. Oh, you see, it gave us a a true value. That means that what? It means all the functions, all the elements, there is all the elements are truthy. That's the meaning. Now, what will happen if I check for any? Let's do any. You see, it produced the value what? True. Now, the reason why it produced true for both is because all is checking if all of them are numbers, if all of them they are what? They are true elements. If all of them are true elements, one is a true element, they are true elements. N is checking if there's at least one true element. That's what it's going to check. I believe we are following. If there's at least one true element, it's going to check and it produces a result true. So let's do more on this, more examples. Let's do okay. If equals to 0, 1, false. Okay, so let's do something. Let's check for any. Oh, case sensitive. Good. Okay. Somebody should suggest what will all give me? Hmm? If I check for all in K, what likely do you think we'll have? True or false? Somto, you are the one in class. I think Mrs. Abigail was kicked out by the network. Somto, please suggest to me what do you think we are going to have if we check for all here? Hello, Somto, are you in class? Just suggest anything, even if you are wrong. False. Wow. Can you justify yourself? Please unmute and speak. Explain. Why did you say false? Somto, why did you say false?
Yeah, because in the list there is, it doesn't contain all. It's not all numbers. We have a string in the list.
Okay, let's check. Now, yes, you got the answer correct, but your explanation for me was not really the way I seemed it to be. You know, I told you earlier on that zero is a false this thing element. Wherever it occurs, you have a false value. Do you understand? So it's not because there's a string. It's not because there's a string, but it's checking it to check if zero. Once there's zero there, cause if it's because of a string, then let's remove this false. You still see that we have the same answer. You see now, we still have the same false. Do you understand? That is to say that zero here is the one causing this false. Zero is a false statement. Just what once I remove this zero, I'm not going to have false again. I'll have true. Do you understand? Believe you are following. So
Yes. Okay.
back to this note that I wrote here. If you can copy it, it will help you. The note has very salient things that are important to note. In Python, the integer 0 is considered at false value, meaning that when evaluated in a Boolean context, you know, Boolean values, they basically is either true or false value, such as an if statement or a while loop. It behaves as what? False, right? Good. In Python, so I wanted us to check, let's do an example of an empty list and see. Empty list. And just declare F2. Let's do example of this. False. Before I do this, let me think and let's try to get the answer. Before I run it, let's try and get the answer. Okay, this is an empty link. So what did all say? We said that returns true if all elements in an iterable are truthful, or if the iterable is empty. It returns false if at least one element is false. That is, for any now, returns true if at least one element in the iterable is truthful. It returns false if all elements are false and if the iterable is empty. That's for any. But for all, according to what we read, all should give us true. Correct. So if it's empty, all will give us true. But for any, we have any will give us false. Any will give us false. Correct. So something I believe you're following. I believe you are following. Alright, thank you. So the next thing we're looking at, that's all for all and any, is least comprehension. Least comprehension. So what is least comprehension? Least comprehension in Python offers a concise way to create a new list based on existing iterables. This comprehension consists of 1. Expression, the operator performed on each item. 2. Item, a variable representing each element in the iterable. 3. Iterable, the existing sequence, that's either a list, a tuple, a range, a dictionary being processed. Conditions, optional, filters element based on specific condition. Note, an iterable is any object that can be looped over. So let's write an example of this. Let's write an example of that. So let's declare a variable comp comprehension is equals to mm, mm, okay, I'm coming. Um coming. So I want us to look at something here. It said list comprehension in Python provide a concise way to create a new list based on existing list. It offers a more readable and and often more efficient alternative to traditional for loops when constructing a list. The basic syntax for a list comprehension is list is equals to comprehension for items in a table if condition. So example, um, okay, kind of finding a little bit to explain that. So Samosis, please help us with this explanation. Samosis, Please help us with this explanation of loop.
Oh, hello.
Yes.
Is Dr. Say what? What are you saying?
No, no. I was just saying that could you please help us with the explanation of these expressions, item, and iterable conditions in loop, in list comprehension rather?
Okay, I think in this comprehension is like compressing compressing a large